actually hate this, so I'm gonna go get a chair. I put my hair up. I don't know, everything feels wrong today. I just feel really insecure, which is kind of perfect for our topic because it's about my biggest insecurity, my teeth. As you guys can tell, they're very crooked. And I've always wanted to go to Thailand to get them fixed. I hear that it's really awesome over there. But I wondered, where do the people on the other side of the Zagros mountain go? So I did some research, and the people in West Asia, they go to Turkey. And yes, Turkey is in Asia. Don't fight me on this. I have a globe in my office. I will win. Today we are going to talk about turkey teeth. Now, what is turkey teeth? Turkey teeth is just a term for dental tourism in Turkey. In Turkey, dental work is typically more budget friendly. A full smile makeover, so like 16 to 20 crowns or veneers in Turkey can cost 2,500 euros to 6,000 euros, which in dollars is about $2,900 to $7,000. And compared to over in the UK, where it is around 15,000 euros, which is $17,400. The rise of turkey teeth or traveling to Turkey for dental tourism started around the 2010s, but didn't become popular until around 2018 through reality TV stars from shows like Love Island and influencers on TikTok. And you can usually tell when somebody has turkey teeth because their teeth just look uncannily perfect, very white, usually very straight. And a lot of people have good results when they go to Turkey to get turkey teeth. A lot of the dentists there are highly trained. But just like in our video, China's cement head Barbies, there are places that aren't exactly qualified. There's always a risk of encountering less experienced practitioners or unregulated clinics. And then there's also clinics that'll push for you to get more extensive surgery, more invasive surgery, just so that they can profit more out of your trip there. There's also the issue of a lot of people going there for something simple like straighter teeth or whitening treatments, and they end up getting crowns put on every single one of their teeth without their knowledge. Now, what are crowns? Okay, so crowns are a lot like veneers, but they are more invasive. Let's do this. Crowns versus veneers. The veneers are basically just like a casing over your teeth, like a little shirt for your tooth, a permanent shirt for your tooth, just to make it look whiter, straighter, or make it look like a different shape. It's a lot like what crowns are, except crowns are a lot different because they shave your teeth. They shave it down to like fangs or stubs, and then they put a fake tooth over that. When you take off these crowns, you end up kind of looking like a vampire or a monster. But they are shaving off like over 50% of each tooth to fit these crowns on. So they are typically reserved for bigger issues like a cracked tooth or to cover larger cavities. There's a lot of risks with going to Turkey for dental work because complications are common afterwards, and aftercare isn't always available. So you do have to do a ton of research to find the right place to get your teeth done. Now it's time for the negative Nancy part because we're going to talk about some stories about people who have gone to Turkey to get their teeth done and haven't gotten the safest or healthiest results. Okay, so our first story is Lisa Martin from Ireland. I got this from a BBC article. She flew to Turkey in 2021 to get six veneers put on her teeth. And a few months later, she discovered that they didn't actually put veneers. They ended up shaving 60 to 70% of her natural teeth and then putting in crowns. About a year later, she's plagued by sensitivity and pain. She's lost more than 12.7 kilograms, which is about 20 pounds. And then half of her face ended up becoming paralyzed due to an abscess. So she went to Turkey for the cheap dental treatment. Her procedure ended up costing her 3,500 euros, which is about $4,000 USD. And then she ended up spending 2,000 euros, more than 2,000 euros, on a root canal, which is about $2,300 USD. And now the only long term treatment that she really has available to her would be implants or dentures. Our next one is also from the BBC. It's about Leanne Abeyance. She's a 41-year-old from Telford, England. She traveled to Antalya, Turkey to get four veneers done. In the UK, she was quoted £50,000, which is about 66,700 USD for that procedure. But in Turkey, she was only quoted £3,000, which is about 4,000 USD. I get why she went to Antalya. However, her implants ended up giving her an infection, and because of the infection, they couldn't be removed in her hometown in England. And she ended up getting a collapsed septum. I know that you might be thinking that paralysis and collapsed septums and infections might be the worst thing that can happen to you if you go to Turkey. But actually, between June 2021 and June 2023, it's reported that seven Irish citizens had died while undergoing dental procedures in Turkey. In 2020, there was a 33-year-old Northern Irish man named Richard Malloy. He died after going to Turkey for teeth whitening. Then in 2025, there was a 36-year-old British man named Mentor Rama, and he died after getting hair and dental treatment done in Istanbul. Complications are common when going to Turkey for dental work, and patients often have to pay for expensive corrective surgeries when they get back home. Now, a lot of the risks that come from Turkey stems from the unqualified people who perform them. Because some of the people who are performing these procedures are unqualified, you end up getting poorly fitted crowns or procedures that you didn't even ask for. And when these crowns are poorly fitted, you end up getting bacteria underneath the crowns that are hard to clean out, and that's what leads to the infections. I totally get why people would choose to go to Turkey because it is very, very cheap. So I'm not knocking going to Turkey for dental tourism. I'm just saying that if you are going there, be sure that you take safety measures. Make sure that you vet the clinics by making sure that the dentist is not just a regular dentist, that they're qualified prosthodontist or maxillofacial surgeons. You want to research thoroughly, make sure that you are reading independent reviews. However, when you are going through these reviews, vet them properly because there's a lot of unreliable comments because they're manufactured or generated by the companies themselves. They're basically trolls. They're not trolls, they're basically bots. Check the qualification of the clinics that you end up going to, make sure that it is internationally accredited. It's always safer. And then, probably the most important thing that you can do is plan an aftercare. You are going to be doing a dental procedure that usually takes 5 days for them to do. That's not a lot of time to recover, but since you are in Turkey, make it a vacation. That sounds like a good recovery plan to me. Thailand versus Turkey for me. Personally, I would still choose Thailand. Thailand is more expensive than Turkey, but they are more renowned when it comes to their dental work. And also, Thailand is more tropical. That seems more of the destination I would want to go to for dental tourism. However, Turkey is very historical. If you are looking for a more European vibe, that's where I would go, or for something more cheap. But I guess at the end of the day, it really does just come down to location. East Asians can go to Thailand because it's closer. West Asians can go to Turkey because it's closer. Also, plan it as a vacation. Choose the location that just sounds more relaxing to you. Are you still watching? Did you make it all the way to the end? If you did, I want to thank you and provide an explanation as to why this video took so long for me to post. I had something else planned. I actually recorded it and I was editing it, and I decided that I did not like it. So I decided I was going to just redo it with a whole new topic. Anyway, I should probably get going because, again, it's like 2 in the morning. So I should probably get some sleep. Good night.